So you have, this is a bit of a stretch, but three creatures that live in the lumbar spine. The first is an owl. So first you have these circle-like big owl eyes, which represent the pedicles of the vertebral body. Then you have this linear nose that comes down, which represents the spinous process. Then you have these wing-like flappy projections, which are the wings of the owl or the transverse processes of the vertebral body. It's a little bit easier to see on a three-dimensional model. So if you were to cut everything back from here backwards, this is namely the posterior arch of the vertebral body, or the vertebrae rather, then you'd be left with just two circles basically. And that's because you'd be cutting these cylindrical-like structures of the pedicle off, and then you'd be looking at it like this. Much the same way is with the spinous process. So if you were to be looking at like a pencil, for instance, on a profile view, it would look like a long linear structure. However, if you were to look at it just from the eraser, it would look like just a dot. So if you look at this from a profile view or a lateral view, it looks like this knife-like projection. But if you turn it, it's more of a linear beak-like shape. And then these transverse processes on the sides, they're very radiolucent oftentimes when you're doing these procedures. You can see them pretty well on our x-ray here, and then obviously on our three-dimensional model too.